Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today for Building STEAM with Seesaw. We have a fabulous presenter with us here today, Mara Delgado. She's going to get started with her presentation in just a moment, but I'm Angela here with Seesaw, and I want to let you know if you're joining us for the first time and you have questions during the presentation, you can type into the question box, and we will spend some time at the end of the presentation answering those questions. Also know you will get the slides and the recording emailed to you after this presentation if you pre-registered for this session. So I am very excited to have our guest presenter here with us today, and I'm actually going to pass this over to Mara, and she is going to get started. She has some great slides that she is going to share with us today about how she builds and incorporates STEAM with Seesaw. So welcome, Mara.
Thank you, Angela. Hi, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good night. So, just a little bit about myself. I've been teaching about 18 years. I'm a Seesaw ambassador and a Nearpod certified author. I'm the mom of two middle schooler, actually no, a freshman in high school. I'm still feel weird saying that, but a freshman in high school who's 15 is my son, and a 13-year-old daughter who's in seventh grade. I am also a wife and a doctoral student, and I got into Seesaw because I loved using instructional technology in my classroom and like integrating as much as I can. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's see, let's go ahead and get started since we have about 30 minutes to talk tonight. So novel engineering is an idea that I learned about at FETC, which is a technology conference that they have here in Orlando. I'm in Florida, about 45 minutes east of Orlando, in an area called Lake Mary. And I went to the conference this year, and they were talking about maker spaces and STEAM, and they mentioned this website, novelengineering.org, and I thought it had some really great ideas on how to incorporate literature and STEAM. And the basic premise of the website is they have summaries of different novels and picture books, and then they give you the problem and this like problems that the children may come up with and solutions that they may think of. And then the idea behind it is that you work with the children through the design process, and they design a solution to what they think the problem in the book is. So when I came back to my school, I decided to try this, and I told some of the teachers about it, and I asked them if they could test it out because we're working on building a makerspace for our school next year. So I wanted kind of to see how it would work if we used makerspace in the classroom and how it would work with the teachers and if the kids would like it and what would they come up with. So the next two examples I have are actual examples that the kids did. These are fifth grade students. They had just finished reading the novel Tuck Everlasting, and they had to come up with their problem and their solution and then build their solution. And this is a group that it was very unique. They thought that the problem was that they had to keep May from breaking out of jail. So this is them explaining what they did, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it so you can get an idea of their presentation.
Okay, so we created a freeze gel, and instead of like hoping they get out, this is to prevent her from getting out. We use popsicle sticks, yellow paint, toothpaste, glue, and food coloring, and water.
What do the yellow popsicle sticks represent?
The bars.
Of?
Okay, so whenever water like touches the gel, it freezes, and so then they can't break out of the gel. Okay.
And then they continue to explain about how they came up with the gel and show how they put it on the bars. This group is also another example that Tuck Everlasting, and these two gentlemen came up with a totally different idea. And there's my cursor. Let's see. Oops, I lost them.
So what we made here is a blow dart. Now, the blow dart is made for is purple paint, your darts, your floater, and white paint, and glitter. So how it works is when a man in the yellow suit comes, you wouldn't kill the man in the yellow suit. You hit him in the foot. So number one, he was obviously winning, and he would get everything that happened. You can also shoot the constable as one of those if he was from the duo.
Okay, so this example was a fifth grade class. The kids worked on their project design in the classroom, and then they came to our innovation lab, and that's where they actually created their solutions and their designs, and they brought them to life. This is an example of pre-K 4. They did this in the media center. The media specialist read to them Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and she asked the kids what they thought the problem was. And the kid said that she needed her own bed. So they went ahead and they started building her a bed, and and then it grew from there, because then, being little as they are and cute as can be, one of them was like, well, if she doesn't have a bed, then she needs a kitchen and she needs a bathroom. So then they built the beds, and then they continued building different rooms and furniture pieces that they felt she needed from after reading the story and deciding that that was the problem, and that was their solution. Those are pictures of them creating their beds using very simple materials, not very expensive, and it was in the media center. As you can see, they're sitting on the floor and using the materials to build their beds. And the first two examples that I showed, you can do those using the video on Seesaw and upload them, and just upload them straight through Seesaw if you'd like. We did it videotaping with the iPad, and then taking the video from the camera roll and then putting it from the camera roll to Seesaw. But you could take the video straight from Seesaw. You don't need to go through the camera roll. These examples are photos that they took with the iPad while they were on Seesaw. Add item, you hit photo, and you take a picture of what you want, and then it's already, you pick the student's name, and it's uploaded directly into the class feed. Let's see, the next picture is, this is a shadow puppet. This is in a classroom that we call Think Tank, and this is a room where the kids come, and it's very creative, very hands-on. There's all sorts of stuff, and if you were walking the room and not know where it is, you think it's the absolute most chaotic room ever, but the kids absolutely love it because they get to do all sorts of engineering projects in here. So this is counting triangles. This was kindergarten. They were trying to see how many triangles they could make out of 9 popsicle sticks. And this was using, like I said, shadow puppet. And let me just show you real quick what it would look like. Okay, so on the next slide, I'm going to show you, for those of you that haven't used Shadow Puppet before, the easy steps that you can follow to do a Shadow Puppet. You just take pictures with your iPad, and then once you have your pictures on the camera roll of your iPad, you go to the Shadow Puppet app, and that's what the app looks like. And you would click on Create New, and then you select your pictures, and you can select videos. They cannot be long videos. I believe they're either 10 or 15-second videos, if I'm not mistaken. And you select all the pictures and the videos that you'd like, and then there'll be 2 bars on the bottom, and you can either reorder. So if you like pick them and decided that's not the order you wanted, you can reorder them, and then you click next. And once you click next, it'll set you up so that you can do your shadow puppet. And you can add text or music to your slides, or both. You can do text and music. And then there's a record button on the bottom. So you're going to want to hit that record button and go through your slides as you hit the record button. And depending on how fast you go through your slides, that's how long each slide will show on your shadow puppet. And then when you're done with the recording, you're going to click save. And then you can when you hit save, a screen will come up that says preview and share. And when you're on that screen, you can click directly on Seesaw, or you can sometimes you have to hit the little square that has a 3 dots that says more, and you hit on that more, and then the Seesaw logo will come up, and then you can click on Seesaw. If you have trouble, we have had trouble in the past downloading straight from Shadow Puppet. So what we do sometimes is we save it as a video on the camera roll, and then we just put it on Seesaw. We upload it as a video from the camera roll, and you can do it that way too. So there are ways to get around if the technology is not working as perfectly as it should all the time, which happens often sometimes when you're using technology and Wi-Fi and all that sorts of stuff. But these are the steps that you can take to set up a shadow puppet, and it's actually quite easy to use. The kids can do it. It's very easy for children to do it as well as for teachers to do it. It's not very complicated, and everything's done for you. And there's even backgrounds and pictures from different museums, and I believe there's one from like Nassau that you can pick pictures already if you're doing a certain lesson on a certain topic, and you don't have to worry about taking pictures. They have a library of pictures built in to the Shadow Puppet app that you can use as well. This was in a classroom. It is a science classroom. They were doing an engineering lesson in one of their science chapters, and they were talking about bridges. And so they were given materials to create a bridge. And this is a picture of the group testing whether or not the thermos was too heavy for the bridge to hold. And then what the children did was they took a photo with the iPad through Seesaw, and then they added a caption with like explaining how they built their bridge and what they learned, or a reflection about what they learned when they built their bridge. So this was using the photo with a caption right on Seesaw. This is another shadow puppet that also was created out of the think tank class. This is 2nd grade. They had to build towers out of index cards, and they had to balance a washer on top. So I'll play a little bit of that one for you so you can see. So the teacher put text in it and music, as you can see in here. And this one's not cooperating this evening. Let me see if I can move it forward.
And I think, Mara, sometimes the Wi-Fi can make it go slow. So I think
sorry. Sorry, Angela.
Yeah, when people get the slides, I think it might be probably easier to view them on the slide.
Okay. But you can see how they put the text and the music, and then they just ran through the record button, and they made the shadow puppet. So this is this is in a math class. This is in the math classroom. This is actually not in the classroom. This is in the hallway outside, because there was not enough room to do this in the classroom with all the different groups. So the children went out into the hallway to build the shapes using the masking tape. The assignment was that they had to build 2 different shapes that had the same perimeter but a different area. So that's what they were working on. And then once they had their 2 shapes, they had to use tape to build their shape on the tiles or on the floor. And then they had to program Sphero to go around their shape, to go around the perimeter of their shape. So let's see this one. I'll play, this one's actually kind of funny.
You know what? know what happened.
Did you calibrate it?
It was calibrated to you, but I had it right here, so I'm not going to change the calibration.
That doesn't matter.
No, because now it's going.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, now it's.
We're watching it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hold on. Good job. So that was a video that they did, and then we uploaded it to Seesaw. Oops, I think I passed one. This is another picture, and this was building free tall structures from the tallest freestanding structure from 5 straws. And this was also during a think tank class. And you can see like the bench with all the stuff in the back and all the different things that they have. And the kids have a notebook that they take to class with them where they write down their ideas of what they're thinking, and they use that notebook to plan their whatever it is that they're working on, and then organize their ideas. And then they come to class and they work sometimes together and sometimes on their own and build whatever. So this was a freestanding structure made out of 5 straws. This was a picture, and the teacher uploaded this picture, and then she went ahead and she added the caption that said, what is the tallest freestanding structure you can make from 5 straws? This is a pic collage that was done in math. The children were given different things to use, different materials to create angles, and then they had to go around the room and find real angles as well. So they used things like straws, Unifix cubes, pipe cleaners, popsicle sticks, dots, and they had to create 1 of 4 different types of angles, and then have at least 2 examples of real world angles on their pic collage. And this is one of them, the blue one, I believe. You can hear, I don't know if you're gonna hear, it's 18, let's see if it comes out.
I took straws to make angles. I took a straw to make a straight angle, a right angle, a acute angle, and an obtuse angle. And I also took a picture of a door hinge to represent an obtuse angle.
So pic collages are something that's fun and easy for the kids to use. And on the next slide, I have the steps for a pic collage. This is what the app looks like. So you take your pictures with the iPad. You can also take the pictures straight from once you're on the pic collage app, you click on the pictures that you want, and then you select whether you want grids. They have pre-formatted grids that they tell you like a grid with 3, a grid with 4, a grid with 5. So depending on how many pictures you have, you can select a pre-formatted grid, or they have templates, or there's freestyle. My kids tend to like freestyle because then they can move around their pictures and twist them and turn them and make them bigger or small. So freestyle seems to be the most popular type that they select. You click on a plus button on the bottom. It's very easy, and you select your pictures, and then you click on the plus sign again, and the little black box comes up, and you can add background to your picture, you can add text to your picture, you can add stickers to your pic collage. And then once you're done, you can upload it straight to Seesaw, or just like with a shadow puppet, you can save as an image to your camera roll and then put it on Seesaw through your camera roll. So either way will work with the pic collage, and it's something really easy, and the kids love using it, and it's not very complicated. It's just pushing buttons, very similar to Seesaw actually, because you know how Seesaw you have the green check. This one is a plus sign, so once the kids learn which buttons to push, it makes it very easy for them to be able to use the app and create things with it. And then this is another shadow puppet, which was building with straws. And this one, I believe this child is in 2nd grade. And this was in Think Tank again, and which is that room where they go in. And what we did this year to help with our science curriculum is that all the grade levels gave the engineering unit to our Think Tank teacher. So the kids do all the engineering that goes with our science curriculum in the Think Tank. And then we're adding, through that novel engineering that I spoke about earlier at the beginning, that's where we're adding the STEAM and the makerspace into the classroom through the literature. So we're trying to use it as much as possible, but we do have one class set aside, or a classroom where the kids go, and that's all they do is they STEAM, and they work with STEAM, and they build and they design and then do all sorts of really cool stuff. So that is what I have with for you guys with building STEAM with Seesaw, and different ideas that we've been using in our school. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer questions. You can find me on Twitter at Mara Delgado, and that is my email. Also follow us at Seesaw and join the Seesaw chat. Great ideas. Teachers post great ideas all the time, and there's really good conversations on Twitter. And the Seesaw chat is it's every second and fourth Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. So we'd love to hear from you and see you on the Twitter chat.
Yeah, so Mara, we're going to just leave that slide open for us so they have your contact info, but go ahead and type in questions that you would like Mara to answer here today, and we'll get through our questions. So first question, Elizabeth wants to know, Mara, can you tell us a little bit more about the setup that you have with iPads? Are you one-to-one? How much access do you have?
We are one-to-one. Kindergarten through fifth grade, and then our pre-K 3 and our pre-K 4 share a set of iPads.
And I would just interject too and just say you don't need to be one-to-one to do lots of amazing things with Seesaw in your environment. I'm coming from a kindergarten classroom that had 5 shared devices, and it was awesome. So I don't think you have to assume that you have to be one-on-one or one-to-one. Many teachers also maybe just have their own phone that they're using as their device. I've heard of that before too. So don't let that hinder you. Yeah,
I agree with you. We haven't always been one-to-one, and we've done it without having an iPad for every child. And for example, our enrichment teachers or our special area teachers like art, music, chorus, band, they find it much easier for them, instead of even giving the iPad all the time to the child, to record what it is on one iPad, and then they upload it themselves as from the teacher side, and then they find the student name, click on the student name, or if there's a group, like if 3 of them are, singing a piece, or 3 of them are playing, a piece in orchestra, he'll film all 3, and then he uploads it to those 3 students at the same time. And I know they have found it easier to do it that way than to give iPads all the time to the children, because they only have so much time with them a week. So a lot of our enrichment teachers find it easier to do it that way. So there's different ways you can do it.
Next question, Sean is wondering, what other specials besides Think Tank do you have?
So we have Think Tank, like I said, and every class, pre-K 4 through 5th grade, goes to Think Tank at least once a week. 5th grade goes twice a week. And then this year we just opened up or debuted our innovation lab, which is it's like a room that's just for science, and we have our spheros in there this year, because the video you saw was from last year, and we did it on the tile, and the kids found it really hard to keep spiro calibrated because of the grout and the bumps in the tile. So when we designed our innovation lab, we made sure that the floor was flat and that spiro could roll on him better. So we have that room, which the teachers are doing their science labs in this year. And then I just wrote a grant to add a makerspace section just for makerspace, and to make it portable so that our teachers don't have to come to the innovation lab. I can take a bin with all the materials in a cart to their room, so that they can also do things like a novel engineering in their classroom if they don't want to come down to the innovation lab, or if there's a teacher using it. So we're trying to put it in as many different subject areas as we can, and give the kids the opportunity to design, experiment, and create as much as we can in different classes.
Love it. Next question, Marcia wants to know, for those who have Chromebooks, what apps would you suggest instead of Shadow Puppet and Pic Collage? I have one idea.
That's a good question because honestly, I am not very well versed in Chromebook. I am a huge like iPad Mac person.
So
I do.
Marshall, I one of them that I think would be good for you is if you haven't ever done Adobe Spark or Adobe Spark Voice, they have a couple different options, and that's great. Super similar to Shadow Puppet, which is available on the web, so that would work well. I know that Book Creator, I think, is coming out with a web-based version, but that might not be out till the summer, which would have some other capabilities as well. All right. Let's see. Sean wants to know what's the name of your school?
I am at the Lake Mary Preparatory School, and it's in Lake Mary, Florida.
Fabulous. Um, any other questions? We are blank on the questions right now, so if you're still joining us here live, go ahead and type your questions in and we can ask them to Mara while we have her here with us tonight. So Mara, if just curious, if you think ahead to maybe next week, what are you doing with teachers or in classrooms with Seesaw?
Well, actually, next week we're on spring break.
Oh, well, gosh, that was easy. Well, that bought us enough time. Marcia has another question. Uh, she says, I would like to share this with my staff. Will this webinar be available later? So Marcia, thanks for asking. All of our webinars are actually on our website. If you go to web.seesaw.me/PDS, we have all of our recorded webinars on there. So after tonight, once I process this webinar, it will be added to our website within a few days, usually by the end of the next week or early next week. However, because you are here live and are with us and have registered, you are actually going to get a follow-up email with the recording and slides. So feel free to share this information. I always ask that, of course, you give Mara credit for all of the hard work she put into creating the slides. But yes, that's what we like to do here with our webinars is share, share, share. So those will be available to you. So any more questions coming in, go ahead and type those in. So Mara, after spring break, what do you have your sights set on for the end of the year incorporating Seesaw?
Oh, incorporating Seesaw, we use it in so many different ways. Today, as a matter of fact, the kids did a Nearpod on quadrilaterals, and when they finished they call it an assessment, but it's not, it doesn't have to count as a test. Sometimes I tell the kids it's just going to be a classwork grade, but at the end, when you're done, you can give the kids, you can share with them their results, and it gives them a pie graph, and everything in green is what they got what they got right. Anything in red is what they got incorrect, and it shows them their percentage and everything, and then they can look at their answers and what they got right or wrong. So my kids like to screenshot that part of the Nearpod, and then they actually upload it to their Seesaw with a reflection on whether they think they did fabulous because they got 100, or if they got like an 80, they're like, oh, I need to study a little bit more. So we do that in class a lot. Regarding Makerspace, the next big project I'm working with our third grade teachers, they have Pioneer Day. They read Little House in the Big Woods, Laura Ingalls. And this Friday, actually, right before spring break, they have what's called Pioneer Day, and they spend a whole day living like pioneers. So they walk to a park, and they carry their little baskets to the park, and they fish, and they make soap and do all sorts of really cool stuff. So when they get back from spring break, I'm working with them to do a novel engineering project. So they're going to come up with, the kids are going to come up with in teams for a problem from that novel, and then they're going to design their solutions like we did with the fifth grade with Tuck Everlasting. So I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Fabulous. A couple more questions and then our time is up. Sean wants to know, how many years has your school been a STEAM school?
I want to say we've had Think Tank. I think this is the fourth year we've had Think Tank. The Innovation Lab, we just started it this year. So in our lower school, so pre-K through fifth grade, we've been doing Think Tank. I would say for 4 years now, we've been doing that class where the kids do the design and engineering. And I would say for the last 2 years, we've been trying to bring more STEAM and bring more opportunities for the teachers to do more stuff, more like the STEAM activities in your makerspace kind of stuff. So little by little, and then now we're actually going to be doing a makerspace for a middle and upper school because we're pre-K 3 through 12th grade. So now our middle school and upper school building will also have a makerspace for those older kids. So they're going to be able to do more as well. And we're going to try to integrate it more with their classes over there in literature because they do solar cars and things like that in physics, but we'd like to bring it across all different subjects, not just the sciences.
Fabulous. And Julie has one last question that I'll answer here. She's wondering, is everyone in your building on Seesaw? And if so, what has been the key to get everyone on board? So just 30 seconds, how would you answer that, Mara?
Okay, so we started as a free Seesaw. We used a free Seesaw, and then we decided we wanted the kids to be able to have everything and follow them year after year. So Seesaw is used in our school. We are Seesaw for schools, pre-K 3 through 5th grade. So that's how we have the Seesaw in our school.
Yep, so that's our paid premium version that has extra great things like an admin dashboard that really tracks engagement with how, you know, families are interacting with Seesaw and viewing content and all sorts of great tools like that. So thanks everyone for coming today. Mara, special thanks for you for sharing all of your expertise. And you will get the recording and slides as well. And thanks everyone for coming tonight.
Thank you.